This is the one with a master and commander.
An officer and a gentleman.
And tons of seamen.
It's called the Sea Devil.
Here we go! We're embarking on a voyage all through time and all through space.
Countering Daleks, Thal and Ood, and the Cybertronic race.
Santarans look like taters and Silurians all have wonky scales.
And the Doctor has a TARDIS, we're reviewing all his tales. Who back when? Reviewing all of who there is. Who back when?
Subscribe and rate on iTunes, please.
Episode by episode, we're trudging down this temporal road. Come join us on this odyssey. What other choice could there be than Who back when?
Who back when? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode C062 of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Doc Past.
Correctamundo, Nick Hammer. That's right. I am sitting in the studio with Nick. Hello, Nick.
How you doing, Podcast Land?
Hello, hello. And I am Ponkin. And today we are talking about the Sea Devils. Holy smokes. Not what I had expected.
No. I mean, yes and no.
Really?
A bit of a continuation of what we've seen so far with Pertwee for loads of reasons.
Certainly.
But I don't know. I was expecting... We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. What I did not realize at all, was that they were related to the Silurians.
I knew this. I knew they were, but I thought there would be more, well, Silurian.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, hang on. Let's catch people up. Shall we jump into a bite-sized chunk of Who super duper quickly?
Let's.
Time for us to synopsize,
clarify and summarize.
So take a view
and grab a brew
and listen to this overview, this free-for-all.
We like to call a bite-sized chunk of Who. Bite-sized chunk of Who.
Doc and Joe off to visit the Master, who, like a less maniacal Richard Branson, has his own island. Imprisoned there indefinitely and with unfettered access to sabres, robes and moustache wax, not to mention the most lax prison warden ever, the Master has got it into his brain to team up with yet another non-human civilization.
This time he has partnered with the Sea Devils, the aquatic cousins of the Silurians, to defeat mankind and reclaim this blue marble in the name of reptiles wearing chainmail everywhere. Wonder if it's going to backfire on him. Biscow over. You are welcome. Oh, wow. We are out of practice. What was that? That was totally out of sync.
If you like.
No, it's fine. So, I have a question for you.
Of course you do.
If you fancy starting off with a question, that is.
Always.
What's the deal with Venetian blind CCTV?
I don't know. What is that deal? Like, there's so many bits of this serial that I was just like, we're going to have to talk about this on the podcast. Yeah. And I will have no explanation for Leon.
He's going to ask me about that, isn't he?
He's going to ask me about this. I have no fucking clue. That's why I don't ride notes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this on something else. As in some other sci-fi show. I can't really put my finger on it, but I feel like I've seen this exact effect, and I wonder if in the 70s this was a thing. Like they were just like, well, isn't this a cool way to superimpose one piece of footage on another? Venetian blinds!
Yeah, maybe.
You know what it could be? It could be a chroma key. They could have, it could literally be like a Venetian blind setup.
Right.
And then behind it, they have the equivalent of, let's say, a blue screen. And as they open the Venetian blind, it is blue. And I'm assuming they must have known how to chroma at the time. Because do you remember when we had the dual Pertwees and dual Joes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was clearly like, blue screen, green screen, whatever, red screen. So now they've done the exact same thing, I reckon, behind Venetian blinds.
So you think someone at the BBC has just gone, I've invented a thing! Or there's a new thing.
I'm saying the technology clearly already existed.
Yeah.
I'm saying I suspect that it was also available to the BBC, as in for just a TV production company.
Okay.
And I think that's why we end up with this completely nonsensical device.
Okay, so speaking of just like the frontiers of 1970s production.
Yeah.
I want to take a quick sojourn into the music.
Well, I wasn't going to get there right away because it's the elephant in the room.
I'm going first.
But yeah, okay, let's do it.
First because I think, sort of talking about production, this still feels, so we've gone through 2 Doctors now, where we talked about the Wild West of TV production, sort of Hartnell definitely, and trying new things. But it still feels like we're living through this boundless age of innovation when it comes to science fiction effects.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's probably fair to say.
And, not more so than the music, which is like 8-bit torture, right? It's like an 8-bit theremin.
It feels like an experimental art installation. Oh, what's that instrument called? It's not a synthesizer. It's like a synth made love to an organ. What's it called?
Oh shit! Well, the keys, and they're like you touch it with like I don't know what the fuck they're called.
Well, it feels like someone kicked one of those instruments in the groin because it's awful. I hate it. I'm going to say that right. I hate the music in this. I hate the sound editing in this. The audio production aspect of the serial was dreadful to me.
It's like someone. It's like a Dalek stuck a trumpet up his ass.
Yeah, but at least that's arousing. We had a chat, ladies and gentlemen. Nick and I had a chat with some peeps on the Facebook-aroonies. Just, was it yesterday? 2 days ago? Just saying like, hey, we're watching the serial.
I put, various things and said, but I'm not sure at all about the music.
Yeah.
As did I.
I was like, oh God, the music.
Multiple people going, the music is perfect.
It's the most amazing thing. I make love to the soundtrack.
I got married to this music. I walked down
honey, come and read what this guy has said about you, you know?
And I do not get it. So my partner in real life was I was watching this. She's just like wandering around doing stuff. She's like, how can you listen to this? Like, I honestly don't know. Sometimes it's really charming and, like, sort of, plinky plonky and all those sort of fun things.
But mostly it is not.
And mostly it's just piercing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that everyone listening to us, most of the people listening to us know exactly what we're talking about. But just in case, let's have a soundbite. Bajing, bajing, soundbite.
How do we get onto the fort?
Up that ladder. Now hold tight, Joe. We're coming alongside now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. Actually, you know what? I made a note of 2 separate sound bites that are particularly relevant to this. Here's another one. Bing bong. Hope you like that.
Please stay with us. We're gonna speak in really soft, like, hush voices, just in case you were in the bar where you were like drifting off to sleep. No, I am not. And so far throughout all the poetry, I'm just like, I really hope that someone can string together a few notes in a sequence that I recognise.
But the thing is, people seem to really like this music. Seems to, no pun intended, really resonates with people. Like, there are people who think that this is artistic, and you could argue that obviously it is. I mean, it is a work of art, but people seem to think that it is, pleasing to the ear.
I will take the innovation argument that they're trying new things. Yeah. It does sound otherworldly, if that's the... Sure. Because I'm sure other worlds have concepts of music that I will fucking hate. And this might be it.
Yeah, but what I can see is a whole bunch of execs in the 70s at the BBC just listening to this going, it's too late for you to commission something else, isn't it?
Malcolm Hulk's out there like going, okay, it's nice. I see what you've done with the strings and the brass section and the wind. That's all very good. But have you ever thought about licking a theremin? Have you ever just thought about just wandering up and seeing what that's like? Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. Also, what do you think of music?
Yeah, okay, so I'm not down with the music.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Different topic. We get the master again.
Yes.
We have the master again, and I mean, we find out right off the bat. In fact, if you look at the DVD cover, he is on there. He is imprisoned in Venetian CCTV land, and with just constant access to... Why are there sabers outside his room? Like, why is the prison warden like the most relaxed dude leaving the prison to the master?
I don't understand. So all the decisions that led him up. So, okay, we're going to need to imprison him. Sure, he's very dangerous and possibly in the universe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to put him in the most maximum secure. Okay, cool. Do we put him in general circulation? No, we need to give him his own thing. Yeah. An island, cool.
Yeah, should this island maybe be manned by unit staff? No, we don't need them.
We just need the Navy, who don't know anything about this dude, but are really good with the sea.
And are immune to hypnosis. I don't understand why unit isn't part of this.
I don't know. But real quick point.
Go for it.
The psychic training turns up in New Who.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Remind me.
It turns up when it's the Daleks versus the Cybermen bit. And one of the scientists, Rose, tries to use a psychic paper. And they were like, well, we've all had level something psychic training.
That rings a massive bell. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Nice. That's very good.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the least likely, don't you need to Hannibal Lecter this motherfucker or Magneto? You need to have him.
No.
Like in concrete or some shit.
Well, it doesn't matter because the warden just lets him out.
Yeah.
He's just
they're in cahoots, aren't they?
It is the warden, right? Wait, hang on. You know what I think? I think I'm conflating the warden with Walker.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah, Trenchard and Walker.
Walker's the politician, the gluttonous one.
Whom we get to see eat at close range.
Yeah. Truncheon is the stupid patriotic man that buys it.
Yeah. Wait, is it Truncheon? Trenchard.
I know, I'm calling him Truncheon.
Go for it.
Or Trunchable.
Oh. But why is the warden is a complete buffoon.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy. He just wants to play some golf and whatever. But wait, no. They are in cahoots. I'm not conflating them because he totally takes exactly. Yeah, he totally takes the monster to the naval base.
Yeah.
Naval base.
He's like, we tricked them. No, that was a good show, wasn't it? We put on because
yeah.
The Doctor.
Is every member of the Navy immune to hypnosis, by the way? Or is it just the people on the islands?
Later on in the 6th episode...
there is one guy who actually is, the dude who's wearing the Scooby-Doo mask.
With the gun.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we're jumping all over the place. But yeah...
Let's talk about the Master. How did you feel about him?
Yeah, let's do that. The Master... First off, hats off to... I'm not wearing a hat. I'm lying. I am wearing a hat. Hats off. I'm no longer wearing a hat.
Hats back on.
Delgado did a fantastic job. Delgado is... This is like one of those series that just sort of proves to me that Delgado is the optimal master in a way. He's, at least so far, awesome. What a dude. But then... I hate the clangers scene. That's just like, how the mighty have fallen. And then why does he have to wear, he's got his awesome Raelian robe on, but then you realize after a while, he's just wearing that over his sweatsuit.
Okay, Delgado is good as an actor.
Yes.
Being, sort of, not just the maniacal, but that sort of playful thing that, he is friends with the Doctor, and the genesis of that is really clear without too many words.
Sure.
The concept of the Master in this, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it gets a really easy ride from history. I think a lot of people look back and go, this was the great, the Master. It's like, but he's got one move, and we've made great pains to talk about this over and over again.
Yeah.
And he does it again in such an infuriating way. This is the worst iteration of it.
Is this the worst one?
Yeah, because at the end he's like, I helped you. When they sort of cards him off, he's like, you deserve to get fucked, mate. And also,
how have you not learned from the Cybermen, from the Autons, from what were they called, the Golden Angel cherub dudes?
Oh, the oh shit, what was that? The amorphous blob.
Yes, exactly. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. So he, from all of these, he also then trusts the Doctor.
Yeah.
Why the Doctor's slightly better at what seemingly seems like a relatively basic circuit on that diagram than him.
Oh, right. Yeah,
right?
yeah. And also axons.
Yeah, axons, nice. Why does he help? Why does he think, the Doctor won't betray me?
But, I mean, yeah, okay, so the Doctor Master scenario, it plays out pretty much the exact same way. I mean, you can draw a diagram of the plot conveniences of the Master Doctor dynamic, and they will line up perfectly between the encounters with Cybermen, Autons, Axons, and this, but only in terms of their dynamic. At first, there's either a rivalry or a bit of bants.
Playful tete-a-tete.
Yeah.
Or actually, maybe less than playful. I don't know. It's somewhere across the line of playful and harmful tete-a-tete.
Actually, we need... Okay, after this, let's get back to the first encounter between them, because that boggles my mind.
Right.
But yeah, okay, so there's that. Then there's the deception. The Master goes, "Aha! I am the Master!" Then the Master teams up with an alien, or at the very least, non-human civilization to allow that non-human civilization to take over the world or destroy it.
Overplays his hand.
Clearly.
In a unequitable partnership.
Which in some fashion relies on technology that he has not mastered himself and requires the Doctor's aid in completing. At which point
the Doctor fucks him.
Yes, but also the aliens or non-humans fuck him, and
everyone
is completely surprised. He's completely surprised.
And then he makes a getaway in an incredibly visible and easy to track down method of transport.
Such as an ice cream truck or a hovercraft.
It's the Royal fucking Navy.
But he also uses a Scooby-Doo trick. This is the second time! This is the second time! With the... Oh shit, I'm sorry for screaming. With the Autons, he did the same thing. He Scooby-Dooed a dude. and then he ice cream trucked away. And now he Scooby-Doo's a dude, and he hovercrafts away. And by the way, my notes, when there was a hovercraft, I wrote, oh, fuck me, there's a hovercraft.
Right. Hovercrafts are objectively cool.
Yes.
That's 0.1 for the hovercraft.
Second hovercraft on Doctor Who so far, I believe.
Yes, there was a land one, wasn't there?
There was an amphibious one. I mean, this one's amphibious as well. In Enemy of the World.
Now, this one is super cool. Love a hovercraft.
Love them.
Big in the 70s.
Best ever. We should all be driving them.
Where does Del go? So, B. Where are we? 3? I don't know. He's Scooby-Dooby-Doo a dude. Just for his full thing.
Yeah.
And third, where does he keep getting these latex masks of his face?
Oh, he just... Wait, hang on, that's a good question.
They come 3 to a can. What the fuck?
I mean, this is a very good question, because not only must he have just... He is carrying them upon his person, but also, where... I mean, he was in prison a second ago.
Yes.
Did he make this mask? He must have made the mask.
Out of, old ketchup packets and, toenail clippings or some shit. How did he make this very elaborate, very lifelike?
I don't know. He hides these masks on his person and probably has a whole stash of them.
Right, I'm going to...
Just in case, man.
I'm going to introduce a mechanism by which they can all do whatever the fuck they like.
Yeah.
Which is Time Lord pockets.
Yeah, there you go. But then you could also ask yourself another question. Why doesn't he have something more useful in that goddamn pocket that will enable him to escape the prison?
Yeah, like a gun.
Yeah, gun. Oh, wait. That's it? That's all you needed? Problem solved. Here's another thing. He does escape the prison. As in, I'm sorry, I don't mean at the end when he escapes mankind.
He escapes the prison.
He is outside of the prison. There's no problem. He doesn't have to go through it. There are other ways to destroy the planet.
Also, why don't you lay low, go find your TARDIS, find another planet, we keep bringing that up.
Another soundbite moment, sorry, just because it answers your question. Here's a soundbite from the Master explaining exactly why.
I still don't see why you want to help them. What can you possibly gain?
The pleasure of seeing the human race exterminated, Doctor. The human race of which you are so fond. Believe me, that'll be a reward in itself.
This is a revenge trip for him. That's all
true,
it is.
And I got that, yeah, because the Doctor is definitely overly fond of the human race for various reasons. But he's not unfond of other races. He has shown empathy for lots and lots of races.
He seems to be okay with the Sea Devils.
If he just murders, yeah, that's true. If he just murders indiscriminately, he'll get the Doctor's attention and the Doctor will be upset. So,
go for it.
In either pocket, so he's in one pocket, he's got a mask of himself.
Yep.
In the other pocket, he's got a mask of the Doctor, and he just puts it on whatever prospective lover he has that night, because he's definitely on some weird fucking trip. He both hates and super loves the Doctor. Which
I think can bring us all the way around to that first encounter between, well, not just Doc and the Master, but Doc and Joe and the Master. So, two things that really struck me with that is, first off, it seems like Doc and Joe literally only went there to say hello and then leave. So, that... Hey, how's your freedom? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Peace. Bye. Like, you got on a boat to come here. Maybe just stick around for a while, have a chat, not just look at him through some Venetian blinds, then say hello, and then leave. That makes no sense. But that first encounter, this is the first time that they meet him since they arrested him in the Daemons. Daemons, yeah. And, I mean, he tried to destroy everyone and kill everyone, and he tried to burn the Doctor alive, and I feel like maybe there's too sharp of a contrast between that last encounter and this first encounter. Because here it's just like the Doctor goes, oh... No, see, he's such a nice guy. I think it's utterly consistent. From now and actually all the way up to New Who, so I'll be interested in what sort of other iterations are like. But he's always murderously maniacal, but he has this weird kindred thing. They're old school friends, as Pertwee says in this one. And the Doctor just constantly absolves him of all guilt. I think so, in the same way that you might a brother who does fucked up stuff, but like family. And also... Oh, my brother tried to burn me alive. Yeah, 100... Honest to God, that will have happened to someone on this planet, and they will have forgiven their brother. Yeah, that's fucking bet you. Yeah, that is probably... It's probably been hundreds of years, so like a day or like a couple of weeks don't really make that much difference. They have odd concepts of time and emotion, I guess. Why the Joe is it? Why the Joe? The Joe isn't freaking out. I don't know. She's a human. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't have this nostalgic affinity to the Master. The last time she met him, he was trying to take over the world with the help of an actual demon. Like he had summoned Satan to destroy mankind. Oh, he's so nice. He's what a nice guy. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, here's another thing about the Master's. He's in quite dire straits. He is in prison. Yeah. Quote from the Master, I'd like another television set for the bedroom.
And now in the 70s, they were still quite expensive.
Yeah. I mean, Back to the Future 1 springs to mind was like, how many TVs do you have? 2. Oh, no one has 2 TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. That wasn't 55. But still, this guy's in prison. He has a separate bedroom. He has a flat on an island. Oh, with a bunch of people who feed him sandwiches and sabers.
Why are there sabers?
Because fencing scene.
Again, that's another thing that everyone really likes, but I roll my eyes at.
Did you feel that there was a distinctly James Bondian feel to this serial?
For this whole run, I've been saying that, and way too much in this serial. Like okay, let's talk really quickly about the Sinclair individual speedboats.
Oh yes, yeah, of course.
That chase thing, or whatever it was. What?
It's this serial's equivalent of the tricycle chase that we had before.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, Time of the Daleks.
Right, you get one. You get one. You get one of the tricycle and the Ogrons, or the Master and Pertwee having fun on the water.
On their scooters, whatever they're called. I wrote it down somewhere. Where
did they come from? Did they just lie around on the beach?
Well, yeah, obviously. Where do you leave your water scooter thingy? Wait, what the shit is it called? I wrote it down.
Jet ski.
Jet ski, thank you.
It's not a jet ski, though. It's like a personalised...
It's a mini motorboat.
Mini speedboat.
Yeah, you're right. It's a baby speedboat. Okay, we get the baby speedboat scene. We get a Hunt for Red October-esque scene where we have the submarine. We have fencing. We have... What else? What else do we have that's James Bondian? We have a naval base, people in uniform. There's lots of military stuff going on. I feel like there was something else that was incredibly Bondian.
Oh, there's a...
when he goes diving as well.
Interfering bumbly politician. That's a bit Bondy.
Yeah, that's true, but we've had that in Classic Who.
Yeah,
there's always some Lord, Lord Steve, who's just... He's gonna screw it up for everyone.
Yeah.
But I wrote down also the moment where he's about to get into the diving bell, where he's putting on his the diving suit and everything, that felt incredibly Bondian, like super Bondian. I wrote it down, and then 10 minutes later he emerges, or one episode later he emerges, takes off his diving suit, his wetsuit, and he is wearing his frilly shirt and suit underneath. Could not be more Bond. That's the beginning of Dr. No.
Yeah, and also there was yet more Aikido, and an Aikido sound effect.
I don't remember that, but I do remember him actually screaming Aikido at one point.
I either thought that was a sound effect or that fucking happened.
It's like, Aikido!
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you don't have to say the words, buddy. Karate! And too much, just too much. I started to, I lost focus.
Okay.
I want clever, raggedy Troughton.
Yeah. Raggedy Troughton, I like that. Yeah. Okay, question, if we can just jump to the submarine for a bit. So the Sea Devils take over the sub. They bring it down somehow. I can't remember how they do, probably with a heat ray. And they take it over. And then all of a sudden, they're guarding all these humans, and it seems like they're almost collaborating with the humans to a certain degree. Like, they're holding them hostage and they're saying, this is what you need to do and you got to give us information. But there doesn't seem to... There are two things that bother me about this. First off, there doesn't seem to be any kind of motive here. They haven't hijacked the thing, at least not very well, because it turns out you just need to use the torpedoes that the sub carries to get out of there. And they don't seem to have a plan. It's like, we got this sub because... it's carrying nukes and we want to, blast some particular target. And then the second thing is, there's a scene where there's a Sea Devil guarding these 3 dudes who are pretending to play cards. And one of the dudes goes, I've got a plan. I'm going to write little notes with what I want you to do, which is fake that you're having an episode or whatever. The third guy doesn't get it.
At all.
Why? Why does he not? How can you not understand this?
Let's play consequences. That's not how you play consequences. Shut the fuck up, Steve.
Do you not realize there's a reptile game holding us hostage? You thought it would all be just, submarines and card games. I don't get it. Can you explain the whole submarine subplot? Can you explain the subplot to me, please?
No, I can't, because I can't really understand the Sea Devil. The Sea Devils as like an agent of the Master, I kind of get. They do briefly say, "Oh well, we would like our planet back now."
How did he contact them?
With the sonar-y device, right?
How? But that feels like something he did later on.
He did that. Later on, he did that to wake them all up. But he made a little one to try and, because he commands those ones onto the beach, right?
Yeah.
When they go to the minefield. Also, let's just again step a little bit out of the plot.
Yeah. Okay.
And talk about the Sea Devils. And
we haven't talked about them at all. Titular characters.
Tell me about the look and feel of the Sea Devils.
So when you just see them, when you're just looking at them, they're standing still in front of you, or even they're walking towards you, I'm happy with them. I think they look like just this tremendous classic Who creature, foe, whatever. But then they speak, and you realize not only do they speak English, but they don't move when they speak. It's like watching the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man movie, the whatever. That I was severely unimpressed by that. But in general, I like them. I think they look great. I don't understand the outfit. We talked about this before we pressed record, ladies and gents. Why are they wearing coats made out of? You think that
it looks like chainmail, which I gotta tell you, if you ever think about quitting your job as an accountant and being an underwater reptile amphibious super race,
chainmail's where it's at.
Chainmail ain't a good look. It's heavy. It rusts.
I don't think it's chainmail. To me, it conjured up images of nets, like fishing nets, because they're
also bad.
But yeah, also bad. Yeah, designed to restrict your movement as an amphibious creature. But in general, I like them. Did you not like the look of the Sea Devils?
I like I said, I like the look statically. No, I didn't. Oh, no, I was not offended by the look statically. When they run and the sort of latexy thing flops, and there's a man in there and he looks awful, especially when juxtaposed with the awesomeness of Alpha Centauri, the Ice Warrior, that fucking weird head in a jar. It was that those were wicked.
Yeah.
And these are not.
How would you compare these to the Silurians?
Silurians are better.
Why?
I think they were better designed. I feel like someone sat down and did that and basically didn't go too overboard with the latex.
Oh, okay, interesting. I think they're sort of on par. I like both. Well, I was a little bit surprised to find that while the Silurians had that weird diamond in their forehead that could do anything from build walls, destroy walls, control computers, open doors, hypnotize people, and kill, these dudes didn't.
Well, so here's another point of contention, because the Doctor says these aren't actually Silurians.
No, they're they're
Eocene. Oh, no,
he says Silurians.
Mischaracterizes Silurians.
Yeah, exactly.
So those weren't Silurians.
No, Silurians should have been called Eocenes. He says they were named Silurians because someone just pointed out the wrong era, the wrong epoch,
I see.
And it was in the Eocene period, or during the Eocene period, that they emerged, I guess.
But then...
Or reigned, maybe, is what he's trying to say.
That doesn't make loads of sense, especially later on in New Who.
It's like Jurassic Park should have been the Triassic Park.
Oh, quite.
Yeah.
But that would be like what the Tyrannosaurus Rex then referring to himself as born in the... later on, the Silurians call themselves the Silurians.
Yes, and I was going to say something, make another reference to a different alien in that context. Ice Warriors. Ice Warriors were called Ice Warriors by some dude who happened to find one of them in the ice, yeah. And then they refer to themselves as Ice Warriors. In fact, everyone does. And I think the same thing goes for the Silurians.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's kind of bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it totes my loads. BS. TM. BS.
Yeah.
Still, I like him. I really like him. I especially like when that one Sea Devil gets scared by the mines and runs away all like...
It's so shit.
I can't do the... you know what I'm trying to do. Yeah, the Futurama. Yeah. Yes, exactly, yeah.
You're better at it than I am. Three Stooges, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Which I didn't know until about a week ago. I can't remember what it was. I saw some...
slap you on the head and go, woof!
No, I saw
get out of my way.
I saw an actual scene of the Three Stooges referenced in another film on TV or whatever. I can't remember what it was.
So you've never actually seen, you've just seen it through the lens of various other things.
I've not actually seen the Three Stooges. I've only seen it either referenced on TV or aped by a cartoon clam man.
Nice. All this week on Stooge Back When.
Yep. Anyway.
So okay, let's talk. So that was a weird and kind of crappy scene.
Yeah.
Really cool scene of like murder, death, mayhem, gun fighty things.
Yeah.
So hovercraft landing and fucking people firing shit was wicked.
Yeah.
But also the anti-Sea Devil gun.
What was the anti-Sea Devil gun?
Like Captain Hart is manning this fuck off like 40mm.
Oh.
That
is odd. I don't know if I saw this on IMDb or on TARDIS Wikia, but they had the actual collaboration of the Navy, and as in there are actual naval officers or Navy men, seamen in this thing, and lots of like proper stock footage of Navy shenanigans. Yeah. It's not like, the BBC took a tube of cardboard and like, no. Now we have a gun. It's like, we have some actual honest to God badass salt of the earth weaponry.
That was a real anti-aircraft gun.
Yeah.
That was a real diving bell.
Very similar to the missile, sorry to cut you off, very similar to the missile that we had in Mind of Evil, which was a real missile. Yeah. It's like, you fucking crazy people. Anyway.
Let's talk Captain Hart.
Which one's Captain Hart?
Captain Hart is the good one.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Who is never, whilst, stressed and always, under duress.
I've got him down as not bagels.
Not bagels. Yeah. Not bagels. But he's impeccably dressed.
He is. Yeah. I was a little distracted by his assistant for a while there.
Yes.
Yeah. But...
Who takes being like misogynized both on this podcast and in that serial
hey,
with great
excuse me, I was distracted. Why you fuck off? No. I have no counter argument, but I am very perturbed.
Fuck you. But by Sir MP blah de blah Clark, the gluttonous
Walker,
Walker, fuck.
Yeah.
Gluttonous Walker, who I found quite funny.
So did I. They were like, don't worry about it. I'll have a piece of toast and some eggs and some smoked salmon. Yeah. More eggs, please. Could you maybe bring me some more toast? That'd be great. Thanks, love.
But then he turns, the thing, he's quite bullish, and then he keeps talking about nuclear war. Yeah. Like, that's a thing he as a minor cabinet minister can order.
I think but not just that. I think I wrote down a quote, because that...
Oh, he's not even a minister, is he? He keeps saying, I'll phone the minister, and the minister will like, you don't have the jurisdiction to order thermonuclear war.
Yeah, exactly. This is from episode 6. I wrote down a soundbite here, 1625.
Now, perhaps you'll admit I was right all along. Massive nuclear strike, it's the only way.
But not until we know what's happened to the doctor.
It's like, he just suggests, like, well, you know what? Let's just trump it.
He literally calls it massive nuclear strike.
Massive nuclear strike. Where? Off the coast of this island. Let's have a massive nuclear strike roughly 2 miles that away.
Calm down, Porky. You're a minor councilman. We haven't given you the football, buddy.
Why does he want to order this? Because I'm assuming that there's some ulterior motive that's just, escaped me.
No. It's just that he's a warmonger. Yeah.
All right. He's Kim Jong-Walker. Yeah. Well, that makes no sense. He's on a naval base, not a single member of the Navy, including, is it Captain Hart? Admiral Hart, whatever he is, yeah. No one tells him, but, you'd incinerate all of us. And the countless civilians and irradiate all of, this part of the world.
And this is not how chain of command works, you fuck.
Also, why are you eating my breakfast? You're a civilian, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, we're out of smoked salmon, but you could have half a glass, so shut the fuck up. Should we talk about Joe?
Yeah,
Or should we talk about the Navy's compunction to have perfectly, 21-year-old woman-sized air duct? So why would that guy was like, Captain Hart was like, I'll never fit, but you will. You're not that much bigger than here. her.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Well, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Especially with the size of the air vent she was actually fucking in.
Yeah, okay, she was in a fairly capacious air vent, I'll grant you that. Here's my note from episode 6 when she goes in there. I've written, Joe's about to climb the shaft. Kind of hope she comes out of it all sooty and... Oh, nope, crisp, white and clean clothes.
Also, the boost up. The boost up was pretty hands-on. Wasn't she just like, you can get off me now. You get off me now.
Which reminds me, episode 3, 30 minutes, 26 seconds, Mr. Skin, Joe entering through a window. I bet you there are a few people in podcast land who listen for that particular reason. I just want to cater to everyone. I want to please everyone. That's my lot in life. I want to please everyone.
That's your flaw. If you have one, you're a pleaser.
We still, by the way, sorry, slight tangent. Sorry, hang on. Incredibly undeniable tangent. We still have people who, because in the stats, I get to see, here are some of the, search terms that people punched into Google and by which, way they found us. They got to our website. And we still have people searching for, Vicky upskirts.
Which is not part of our fucking keywords, by the way.
No, it's not. It is not part of the keywords. But I guess I wrote it in some image alt text. Shit, busted. Wait, hang on. I meant to say I probably wrote it in... Yeah, I mean, we call her Vicky No Pants is what we call her on the show. In the Escape... No, Escape? Oh, fuck, I can't remember. The Trap? Oh, whatever. Yeah, listen to it. It's a fun one.
Well, actually, speaking of other things we found out whilst trawling the various statistics that come with running a podcast.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
We have a bunch of Japanese listeners that we aren't aware of. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. That's amazing. Domo arigato for listening to us. That's awesome.
Desu ka? Very sure what that means. I think it means how are you.
I mean, like an incredible amount of people in Japan.
Yeah. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Oh, I don't speak Japanese, but that sounded like very good pronunciation.
Yeah. I nailed that when I went to Japan. That was the only thing I could do.
Okay, hang on. Shall we return to this thing? Okay. Don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. More
actual content is coming.
Yeah. Oh, really? I was going to say like more tangents coming up.
Okay, cool.
So we get a lot of, just sort of backpedaling a little bit to the Sea Devils, we get a lot of just completely unnecessary Sea Devil hand action in this one. So for example, in episode 1, there are the two dudes, there are only two people on this other island, this island fort.
HMS
What was that? Was that a former prison or something? I can't remember what it was.
Oh, no. It's a base.
Oh, it's a scientific base.
Converting into a sonar station.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, well done. So there are only two dudes who are manning this station, and they're like the Laurel and Hardy of base guards. Like, why? I don't understand why they're there. But anyway, so there's this one scene where there are three of them actually at this point, before one of them buys it, I think. And they're playing cards or whatever, and there's one dude who's just like, I get the feeling I'm being watched. And then cut to awkwardly flailing green monster hand inexplicably reaching into the room, and no one notices. And there's not like an eyeball attached to the hand. It's not like Pan's Labyrinth. There's just like a fucking arm reaching into the room, just being, non-human. Why? Like, is that discreet? What are you trying to do?
I mean, we're back to why the Sea Devils sort of looked a bit shit. I mean, obviously, we're in classic coup, so
I don't think so. I think they... Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay. But, or at least the movements were a bit odd. And, so, for example, in the 6th episode, I think it was, Joe looks off into the distance with horror on her... Like, Katie Manning absolutely nails impending doom.
Yeah.
And just like two Sea Devils awkwardly jog into the scene with a gun that they don't use. They get keynoed the shit out of.
Yeah, okay. That sounds about right.
I'm just saying, like, everything about them is awkward. Not just their hand.
Okay, so there's... Okay, I don't think this is a Sea Devil problem. I think this is a directing problem. I think when they were putting together these scenes, someone just didn't really think about it. And there's another one. I was just looking through my notes to see where it is. I can't find it though, so I don't know which episode this is. But there's one scene fairly close to the end where a guard, like a naval officer, a seaman. Seaman. Oh, sorry. A Navy chap is just standing. We get like a close-up of his face. He's just like, he's peering straight ahead. He's just, concentrating, and then, boom, hand on his face, and he screams and dies. Like, what, did he not see that there was a giant reptilian badass approaching him and then grabbing his face?
Also, they're all naval officers, and most of these things are institutions where not everyone is armed for whatever reason, but some proportion of them are armed.
Surely, yes.
And these particular lizard creatures die like humans. One gets shot later on again in the 6th episode. There's the anti-aircraft gun. There's the mines and whatever. Surely some of them should buy it. What? They're not sneaky, clearly.
You could just Aikido them.
Well, anyway,
every single person on that base knows hand-to-hand combat, I'm sure.
Well, the Master calls us frail, but they're is equally... I mean, if you're only just talking about the physiology or physiognomy, like, they're just as frail, and we've got guns and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, here's another thing. Sorry.
Is it a good one?
Depends on your point of view. So there's a yada yada yada. The Master finally realizes, well, I need this machine in order to wake up everyone, as in all of the Sea Devils. Don't really know how to build it. Hey, Doc, why don't you help me? Yeah, sure, why don't I? So now the Doctor's helping him build this thing. And the Doctor sabotages the device to cause a distraction, basically, I assumed in order to attempt to incapacitate all of the Sea Devils. And it does to a certain degree, but only temporarily. Couple of questions. A, why doesn't he just crank it up to 11 and, blast the shit out of every single one of them? And B, why does the Master let that distraction go on for so long? That scene lasts about, I'm going to say 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, they reverse the neutron polarity.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and,
soundbite 1835.
Once they see that the device works properly, they'll release me.
I very much doubt it. You see, before you reactivated it, I reversed the polarity of the neutron flow. You did what?
And it's basically, so that's going to blow up, or wherever they are going to blow up or something. So it's not that it'll just fuck them up for a bit, like bad things are about to happen.
I think isn't that just the Doctor's excuse? He goes, no, turns out I reversed the polarity of the neutron. No, you're right. That's later on. It's later on when they're like, oh, well, now we've been triple-crossed by the Sea Devils. Now let's reverse the polarity of the neutron flow.
Yeah.
But I mean that initial device where...
Oh, the little one.
The little one that creates that crazy sound wave that distracts all of the Sea Devils long enough for all the officers to basically escape.
Yeah.
And everyone except for... Is a Walker. I think everyone except for Walker, right? Who for some reason just locks himself in an office. But that scene lasts so long, and the Master is standing next to the literal plug in the wall that controls this thing. He just needs to pull the plug to save his compatriots. Yeah. And he doesn't. And I just do not understand it.
The Master in this is actually shows himself to be much less smart. Now I've showed myself to be much less smart than the Master, than
he has previously been.
Than the Doctor.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Usually they're equals. They're pitched as equals, but he really needs...
Are they, though? I don't feel that they are. I feel like the Master is always clearly in need of the Doctor's competence.
Yes, I guess so, but, I think as an additive, whereas this is a full supplement, he needs him... He doesn't know how this circuit works. He doesn't know how all these other bits work. He doesn't realise that the thing has been sabotaged.
Yeah.
He's not on the same level, but, with a bit of tweaking from a friend, like 2 heads are better than 1 sort of thing. It's I need your head, it's better than mine.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true. But that's what I mean as well. I mean, there is a certain level of technical know-how, scientific savvy that the Master does not have. Whatever, I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyway, so that scene made no sense to me. Then, let's add to that one scene. The Doctor goes, it turns out I made a mistake. It was a silly mistake. Sorry, I fucked up. And this almost cost all of the Sea Devils their lives. Jing-a-jing-a-jing, I've now fixed it, I swear. Shall we test it again? No, let's not. Let's take this thing to the heart of the Sea Devil base, where we don't need to, iteratively do some QA, UAT on this thing. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure the Doctor didn't make another mistake. I'm sure this isn't a double cross. Why?
Time pressure.
Oh. You think you can just win me over by adding time to anything?
I can.
Why was it? Time stress.
It's a real condition. Look it up.
Yeah.
Can I offer any more?
Let's see. Hang on. Oh, here's a scene that I really, really liked. This is in episode 6. Sorry, this is a non sequitur. But there's when Jo, she goes up to a window and starts miming to the doctor, and she's got like this whole thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and she's got all these like the hands, like just signals and signs, and it seems so like just such a cockamamie way of putting together a message. It's like, oh. Yeah. It's like, oh, time in 5 minutes and I'll be there and you'll go there and blah, blah, blah. But she's not saying any words. And he's not saying any words, but he's sort of nodding and like, yeah, I get it. A very significant chunk of me was at the time thinking like, please, dear God, as soon as she leaves frame, please let the doctor look straight into the camera and go, I have no idea what that clown just did.
Like Jim from The Office or something, just like look at the camera and just go, I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I really like that scene. Okay, what else? What else have you got, dude?
Well, my copious notes. Let me just have a little flick through.
Oh, come on. All right, I've got Doc and Joe Vord hiding behind a bush while the authorities drive right past them.
Nice.
That was pretty good, I thought. We have the sonic screwdriver makes another appearance in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's used to detonate mines. It's used
to just generally navigate mines.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So sort of like a metal detector of sorts.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't think we covered this in enough detail. So the Master escapes in a hovercraft.
Yeah, your point being.
My point being, hovercrafts aren't entirely seaworthy.
Okay.
They can't go that far out into the sea.
Far out, man.
And they are literally surrounded
by water?
By the Royal Navy.
Oh, yeah. Also.
Full of much bigger, much more capable, other battleships.
Sure. Of which we have seen a lot of stock footage just now. So clearly
planes,
they're the right
sonar, radar.
It's a good thing that Walker boarded, because otherwise there would be a major nuclear strike landing straight on that hovercraft as well.
I'm just saying, what can he possibly do with that? That hovercraft?
I think we talked about this. What could he possibly have done with an ice cream truck when there were multiple military trucks just parked there? And no one chased after him. It's the same thing, man.
I guess so. I feel like it's probably easier to lose people on land. You know, you can I know, maybe he ducked out and found another vehicle, X, Y, Z. But he's just in the middle of the sea in a bright orange fucking hovercraft.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, don't be okay with it. We can have better. Don't settle.
Well, the thing is, there are so many things I actually dislike about this serial. It's so annoying in so many places, but I still found it incredibly entertaining. I don't want to go into review territory, but I enjoyed this serial, and I'm not entirely sure why. Because if I view this mathematically,
which we will,
I should not have been enjoying it, but I really did. They make another appearance, don't they? The Sea Devils. They return in, is it the 5 Doctors? 3 Doctors or 5 Doctors? They return alongside the Silurians. Ooh. I've not seen it. I read this on IMDb or wherever.
Maybe that's what I'm recalling then. Because I remember thinking, I think I know the Sea Devils, and I saw those, like, I don't think I know the Sea Devils. So yeah, maybe I'm seeing this.
So maybe they get back and they're slightly more, they have a bit more to do. I'm not entirely sure what their shtick was.
Do you think they'll ever make another appearance in New Who?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we got the Silurians again. I'm sure we'll get more Sea Devils. They'll be more streamlined, just like the Silurians were more streamlined and modern. All of a sudden, they had actual dialogue and not just someone grunting through a mask. But I have no doubt that they will reappear at some point soon. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. All right. So here's another thing. The Silurians, they were the land-based reptilian life form, the dominant reptilian life form on Earth. At some point they go, the moon is approaching. The moon is about to crash into us. Wasn't that what it was? Yeah. I can't really remember. We should probably all go into hibernation because we have the technology to all of us hibernate indefinitely.
Which in some way, apparently, will protect you from the moon crashing into your planet.
Obviously. I remember that we had a heck of a time discussing that one. So please, ladies and gentlemen, you need to listen to our Silurians review. But I remember that we somehow justified it. Now, let's fast forward a few serials and speed in a hovercraft to the sea, where some other reptilian civilization apparently had the exact same idea. They were like, so we'll just go to hibernation. This thing just is not working out. Let's come back when there are motorboats. Why?
Or are they separate faction? Because we said the Silurians are dominant, but like, with the Sea Devils are clearly different. Mm-hmm. Were they also a faction?
They were friends. Well, not friends. They were, I mean...
Were they? Did they cohabit, or were they warring, or were they actually separate? Are they...
Oh, do we find out?
No, I don't think we do.
So they are also known as the aquatic Silurians. That's Todd's Wikia. So they are definitely, they're just like a different, like, let's say like a different ethnicity of the same species in the Hooniverse. Like we have the Silurians. And one of them is what we call the Silurians because some human in the episode Doctor Who and the Silurians decided let's call them Silurians. And then we have these that we call Sea Devils because some idiots, human, decided, well, they look like devils, let's call them Sea Devils. And now all of a sudden they're called Sea Devils. But they're actually two slightly differing members of the same species.
I think.
I take that back. Hugely differing members of the same species because one of them can breathe underwater. It's like, oh, well, I mean,
maybe the others can.
Fish and people, we have tons in common. Live in the same place, sort of. Got a goldfish right here. Check this out. Flatmate. So yeah. I don't know. I'm just quoting the internet. Don't shoot the messenger. The quote from the Doctor in the beginning. I'm not going to soundbite it because I didn't write when it was. But quote is, "We were friends once. Very good friends. In fact, you might almost say that we were in school together." Well, why don't you just say that?
We were sort of in a school. It was an online program.
We've got the Doctor claiming that he was wounded at the Crimean War, Gallipoli, and El Alamein. He also...
see, that I think he's lying. He's just trying to say something because he forgets where sort of the relative time between where he is and what has happened. So he's trying to pick something that would sound convincing to whoever he's talking to.
Oh, really?
The more interesting thing is that he says to Captain Hart. Captain Hart, believes him. Or not believes him. But
no, he thinks he's a madman.
He thinks he's a madman, but goes along with him and sort of helps and talks to him.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Takes him way more seriously than if someone come onto the street like, yeah, I used to hang out with Horatio Nelson. I'm like, cool.
That's what it was. Yeah, Horatio Nelson. Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, that irked me as well. I was like, wouldn't you have more questions? Or if you think he's a madman, or you're like, you can get the fuck out of my naval base.
I think he's just, he's crazy, and he's shown him some creds that he's bought into. Like he goes, I mean, this is authentic paperwork. He has every right to be here. Some of my superiors will be very cross with me if I kick him out. But yeah, he's crazy, so fine, whatever. I don't think that's anything that's weird. But I do think it's weird because I bought that to be an actual Doctor reference because we talked about it before. One of our listeners mentioned this Doctor really likes dropping, like just name dropping historical figures, historical events, and as in I was there. In this case, he, however, only references war. And he is against war. Like, this is not a dude who, like, why was he wounded in 3 different battles?
Well, because I think we've long since established is that this Doctor, Pertwee's Doctor, I'm going to say,
is Action Man.
Yeah, he's Action Man and wants to be. So he in many ways endorses war. All of when you think about it, they all predicate war, right? It's not that there's like an extinction level event or something's going to happen that would inadvertently fuck up other things. It's all war. The peace conference is war. This is nuclear things. It's all war. Out and out invasion, out and out eradication, out and out war. And yeah, all of his references are to some sort of, the espionage, there's Aikido, there's all this sort of stuff. Yeah, you're right, man. This is just Bond.
It's very Bond. It also feels very much like The Saint.
Yes.
Did you ever watch The Saint?
Yeah.
I loved that as a kid. This feels very much like The Saint. Yeah, okay, anyway. Oh, okay, yeah. This is my penultimate note. Bagels blew up the Silurians. Now Doc has blown up their cousins, the Sea Devils. Do you remember how upset we were and how upset the Doctor was at the end of the Silurians?
Not as upset as I think he should have been.
Yeah, you're right. But now he has done the exact same thing to the other, like the only as far as we are aware, the only remaining, let's call them Silurians or Eocene. There's definitely a parallel there anyway, right? Yeah. Anyway,
where is Bagels?
I don't know. On holiday with Benton and Yates. They're just sipping margaritas on a beach somewhere.
Shirtless, but in their khakis still.
Oh, obviously. And boots.
Yeah.
That's how I like to picture Bagels in my spare time. Shirtless, but wearing military boots. It's just a thing I've got.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And his mustache is hanging.
On a nice...
Oh, yeah. How did we have the same thought at the same time?
I spend way too much fucking time with you.
That was awesome. Oh, I love that.
Also, just side note, for merch, I don't know if any one of our listeners would buy this t-shirt, but I'm thinking of printing up a few hundred of, fuck me, a hovercraft.
Sooner or later, we will actually get around to creating a shop on Who Back When with some t-shirts, by the way.
If you do have any ideas on particular phrases or things that we say a lot that you'd like to see on a t-shirt.
Yeah, tweet us or send us an email at whobackwhen@gmail.com.
We'll see if we can get those mocked up.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it is time to rate this.
Did we love or hate this?
Bing bong, hey, la 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 la.
Ratings.
Okay, you go first.
It's too Bond. Too much Bond. Too bumbly was the master. Too hackneyed was the exact same plot. Nautical theme was cool. Like the nautical theme. Mm-hmm. Actually quite like the sort of bullshit politician guy in how much sort of he was a dick and a glutton and ended up being quite milquetoast.
There's that word again.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. We're going to use that a lot. I was neither upset nor thrilled with Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's cool. Pertwee is cool.
Yeah.
But it's just not what I want from the Doctor. I'll watch a Bond film, you know. I'll watch Roger Moore if I want it, or if I want this. Although I do like mini speedboat chases. It's undeniable in its sort of fun. Music started to tip me over the edge. I'm starting to feel heartless, but I'm not. I'm still enjoying this. And like you said, I think sort of weirdly enjoyed this, but against all of my better judgment.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and make that into a numerical 2.4.
Wow. Okay. That's very close to what I gave it. I wrote down my score in advance. I'm giving this a 2.6. Like I said before, despite all the things that I dislike about this episode, the things that just don't make sense, also the obvious places, we didn't discuss this, but the obvious bits where they just didn't have enough plots and they just filled it. So we did mention the stock footage. There was a lot of stock footage. I read online, the clangers scene was literally only added because they were missing a minute and a half of an episode. And in my notes, I did write, I think this was episode 2. Episode 2 starts with the full last 2 minutes of episode 1. Or maybe it's 3 and 2.
I thought that was just a fuck up on what I was watching. They
repeat way more at the start of these episodes than they normally do. And I really felt like, oh, well, you just didn't write enough, did you? Like this is your way of making up for that. But despite all of that, I really like this. It follows a formula. You're right. We've seen this before countless times, but I really like that formula. And I'm a little surprised to hear you say that you don't like Pertwee. I am loving Pertwee.
No. Well, maybe to backtrack a little. I like Pertwee.
Yeah.
But this is not the
Doctor.
Of the 3 Doctors that we've had on Classic and then maybe the New Who, and, you know, who knows, over the Pantheon I might be able to do some reordering. But as of today, as of right now, I'm a bigger fan of the Troughton-esque
same here.
Doctor than the swashbuckling, you know, action man.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that. I'm with you on that one. But that being said, I do like this sort of just very, very, relatively brief The Saint interlude in Classic Who. I'm really enjoying it. And I find him immensely charming.
Yes,
immensely
he definitely is that.
I can't remember, there was one of the behind-the-scenes things that I saw which pointed out a tiny little idiosyncrasy of Pertwee's that I have since been unable to unsee in every single thing that he is in.
You're going to ruin him for us now.
No, this is wonderful. This is a thing that I want to start incorporating into my own life. He scratches his cheek with his index finger. Like right index finger, left cheek, or left index finger, right cheek. Keep an eye out. He does this a lot, and it is awesome. It's just like, anyway, I'm going to go. Sorry, you didn't see that, ladies and gentlemen, but I was spot on. So, yeah, anyway, whatever. Love this. Awesome, except I don't, and it's great, but I will rewatch it, and so should you. It's 2.6 from me.
Nice.
Boom.
Listener. We have a glut of them.
Yes. Can I start off by saying, very much like we did in the last New Who review, that once again, this episode has been brought to you by Zesty Orange Brandy, as donated to the podcast by Michael Ridgway. Thank you again, Michael Ridgway.
Thank you, Michael, and congratulations.
Congratulations! Michael Ridgway is a dad. Fantastic. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to say, please go to our review of The 11th Hour on whobackwhen.com, where I will have added Michael Ridgway's long-lost mini-review, which for some reason got stuck in our inbox, and we didn't read it out. I'm really sorry, that was my bad. So thank you for sending that in. It's an awesome mini. And we have a whole bunch, a host of listener minis. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending these in. As on prior occasions, the first one, doing this in chronological order, came from Paul Forber. Hello, Paul.
How you doing, Paul?
Thank you very much for sending us, not at all a mini review, but a maxi, one of the maxiest of maxi reviews. It's a fantastic synopsis of the serial. So, ladies and gentlemen, and a bit of a review. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you are interested, and I'm sure you are, go to whobackwhen.com, read Paul's review. Boom. Thank you, Paul. Next up, we got a listener mini from Peter Zunich.
How you doing, Peter?
Peter, I hope all is well. Hello.
Peter writes, honestly, I'm not sure why the story gets such a bad rap. It certainly suffers from pacing issues, but any classic Who fan should walk away more than satisfied. Yeah. A heavily nautical Who show is rather rare, truth, and I enjoyed the fresh approach with a unique enemy.
Fresh? Really? Okay. Peter goes on. Sorry, Peter. Peter goes on. The Sea Devils themselves look great, save the restricted mouth movement, and I much prefer this version to the slow-moving ones in Peter Davison's era. Oh, interesting. As a race, they are well realized and portrayed with a strong culture, society, and technology. It's a plot hole, though, that they can't fix the most important machine to their existence on their own, and they do tend to flounder around a bit during the action scenes. I can imagine there was more than one actor tripping and bumping about during production.
After seeing the master at the naval base, there's a good stretch that seems to drag on forever, and the writing makes everyone look dumb for not seeing the obvious. Removing much of this could have really picked up the pace.
While the entire cast puts in a solid performance, only JP really stands out. Even Roger Delgado, while flawless, has less of an impact this time around.
That might be a flaw, mate.
Honourable mention, however, goes to the Sea Devil leader, who at times actually somehow manages to emote in that hard shell of a costume.
Peter concludes, I admit I'm biased towards this episode, but that's only because, well, I just like it. That's all. That's in my book. It earns a sorry, my dinghy and motorcycle are gone, but I do have a tricycle you could rent. Huge. You should have written this, Peter.
And he gave it a
3.2.
Strong, very strong. We didn't talk about that scene, by the way, or those scenes. I love that guy someone constantly shows up, like, buys or rents a piece of transport from him. Yeah. Basically bribing him, like, look the other way while I rent your motorbike. Okay, awesome, Peter. Thank you very much for sending that in. Next up, we have Trenton Bless.
How you doing, Trenton?
Hello, Trenton. With a mini.
With a mini, Trenton?
Yeah. Trenton goes, I think Peter Zunich was onto something when he said any Doctor Who story that has a castle in it tends to be rather good. Hey, Zunich, did you hear that? Nice one.
One thing the story plays well with is suspense. The Sea Devils melt through doors, attack sea forts, and are menacing throughout the story. Similar to how their land cousins, the Silurians, were done. You don't get a good look at them until later in the story. I think that's the way to go instead of having them be revealed in the cliffhanger of part 1. Mystery is good.
We're halfway into the Third Doctor's era, and the Sea Devils reaches an apex in ambition and quality. This could almost be the quintessential Pertwee story, but for the absence of units. In their place, we have the Royal Navy, the odd bit of scratchy archive film, but lots of fresh footage shot in and around naval facilities and the Solent?
Solent.
That's
my home. So I think it was in Portsmouth.
Oh, really?
I think. Which is, my hometown.
Oh, wow. Lengthy negotiations with the Ministry of Defence paid dividends. If we'd had to pay, it would have cost us thousands of pounds, but in fact, it cost us nothing, said producer Barry Letts. It was good propaganda for the Navy.
The Sea Devils is one of these rare stories that get everything exactly right.
Oh,
fuck me.
All right, then.
Forget Jaws, it was the 1970s Doctor Who classic that gave British kids the shudders during the seaside holidays, like Doctor Who and the Silurians before it. I shall also give the Sea Devils a 4.0 out of 5.
Wow. That's super generous. Also, did it get everything exactly right? Or did it get maybe 4 out of 5 right? Now, that was an awesome mini. Thank you very much, Trenton. That's a really, really good one. Ladies and gentlemen, you can fist bump Trenton online. He is at Trenton Bless. That's Bless with 2 S's. Next up,
Arthur Fushake.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, Gotcha.
Bingo.
Right.
Arthur, fuck's sake.
I prefer Arthur Fushake.
Hello, Arthur, if that's really your name. Nice to hear from you again. Do you want to take it away?
I'd like to just start by explaining that I chose the name Arthur fuck's sake because that's what I mutter to myself sometimes when I watch this program. For fuck's sake. Gotcha. I prefer Arthur Fushake.
Fuxake.
Yeah. I'm talking about those dreadful moments of classic Who that we just love to hate, and that makes the great show so wonderfully unique. My fuck's sake moment for the serial, therefore, has to be the appalling background music.
Yes.
Even though I understand it has since become something of a cult favourite among soundtrack collectors.
Fetishists.
People like all sorts of shit, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Arthur fuck's sake goes on. As for the serial itself, I thought it was great and a fitting sequel to the earlier Pertwee adventure featuring the Silurians. I especially enjoyed Delgado's performance in this, as the Master was indeed on tip-top form and at his charmingly sinister best throughout. The Doctor, Joe, and all the supporting cast were also excellent, and I found the Colonel Freemason character particularly entertaining. I was, however, interested to note that although all the prison staff were trained to resist hypnotism, the Colonel himself was unable to resist the power of gentle persuasion.
All in all, a thoroughly gripping and well-paced yarn for a six-parter. It falls away slightly towards the end, but an enjoyable example of traditional Doctor Who nevertheless. A rampant smattering of humour, irony and sarcasm throughout, as well as open-plan citrons, CCTVs and that look like air vents,
yes.
The clangers and turtle-headed sea devils in string vests that run like girls. What
Sexist.
What more could you possibly ask for?
And he says, my score for this has to be a 4.15 recurring. Let's just call that 4.2.
Thank you very much, Arthur.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got some more. Next up,
Matthew Dennison.
Matthew! Hello. No, Matthew.
No.
Matthew.
Why is that so funny?
I'll tell you why. Zesty orange brandy.
It's real talk. Okay, Matthew writes, after apparently contemplating executing the recently captured masters, the Authority instead decide that the next best thing is to entrust him into a gullible duffer and some mustachioed gendarmes. And it's a good thing they did, because otherwise we wouldn't have the Sea Devils. It's a fantastic story.
Thanks mainly to the involvement of the Navy, but also to some well-chosen stock footage, excellent model work, plenty of location filming, and the mostly great sets. This story looks terrific. It's also incredibly charming, with nice moments such as the Master watching the clangers or everyone bribing the ferryman, yes. And Joe gets to be badass here, knocking out guards, rescuing the Doctor and piloting a freaking hovercraft.
The guest cast is also great. Trenchard came across as rather noble at the end, although still an idiot, while Walker was hilarious as the story's most villainous character. Apart from the Sea Devils and the Master. Although, no, he was trying to affect thermonuclear war. So, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. That's fair play, Matthew.
I'm going above his rank.
Yeah. Captain Hart makes for a good Brigadier substitute, making Blythe this episode's Benson. Although, since he managed to kill more monsters with one burst of a machine gun than the unit managed in 2 years, perhaps they should be headhunting him to replace the brig.
Blasphemy, Matthew. Blasphemy. Matthew goes on. The negatives? The music is best described as interesting. The Sea Devil base looks a bit lackluster, and the Doctor again makes several questionable decisions. Particularly, why tell someone to watch a master hypnotist closely? Isn't that exactly what you shouldn't do?
And finally, I love that at all times the Master carries a rubber mask himself. Yes, Matthew. He clearly now expects all his schemes to fail, so he's beyond well prepared to make it get away. I'll give it a 4.4.
Holy smokes! Okay, that's the highest one we've got so far, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh wow! Oh, awesome, Matthew. Huge heart. All right, here we go. Next up, we have Kyle Rath. Hello, Kyle.
How you doing, Kyle? Kyle, right now, as we speak, he just sent a tweet of him having a drink with us. So, cheers, Kyle.
Oh, chin chin. Chin chin. Oh, hang on. Dude, raise your beaker, man. Let's make this legit. Ka-ching.
Chin. Right. Kyle writes, greeting old chaps. Do you enjoy incidental music that sounds like a synthesizer, dry humping an accordion? How about fish people in fishnet clothing? Maybe some Venusian Aikido with a dash of incomprehensibly placed fencing sabers?
Well, you're in luck, Kyle goes on this silky smooth Delgado mustache ride that explores the depths of governmental bureaucracy. The Doctor and Joe hang out with the Navy, plumb the upside down with Whisperfish 5000 Sonic Silurian Band. Sorry, that should be Eocene. And Euros Holmes, I mean the Master, tries to sort out his final problem with the help of Mr. Grumblebum from The Rock.
He eventually says fuck it and runs off in a slow-moving aircraft, which is clearly beyond the scope of the Royal Navy or Air Force or anything with more than 15 horsepower to catch.
My jocularity aside, this serial is not bad. Showing just how crappy it can be when you are trying to be diplomatic and end up eradicating part of a unique species. Joe is eminently resourceful, and we get a bit more backstory to the Doctor-Master relationship.
First times, reverse the polarity of neutral floor, used twice here and in 5 Doctors only.
Ah, there you go. This is one of those stories that shows just how good of a man the Doctor is and why we don't deserve him.
3.5 out of 5 for the number of trips back and forth between the base and the naval yard, the off-putting music, and the fact the Silurian / Sea Devil / Eoceans got fucked over again.
Wow. That is a really poignant and hilarious mini. Thank you very much for sending that in, Kyle. Ladies and gentlemen, please do yourselves a favor and follow Kyle online. He is at Sinister Super Spy. That's super without any vowels. Awesome stuff. And we have one more. Only one more. Wait, let's do the rating together.
Okay.
So, Tracy from America.
Right. Hovercraft escape and a jet ski chase.
She gives it a rating of, this is the future, baby.
We said this, so off air, we don't tend to rate these reviews out in entirety, so it doesn't colour our own opinion.
Yeah,
and then
we tend to not read them at all, but we do copy paste them into a different document.
Yeah, so
this one was so short that we accidentally read it.
We accidentally read it. And we read it as, this is the future, baby? Commas are important.
Tracy, now, awesome.
I'm going to translate that because I speak fluent Tracy.
Okay.
That is a 4.1.
Strong, Tracy. Strong.
Huge.
I mean, you gave it a little bit more than I would have given it. In fact, you gave it a little bit more than I did give it. But you know what? Strong nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow Tracy online. She is at Yekatnyatnuf. That's Fountain Tracy. Backwards.
I can't do that with you. You need Drew. You need Drew for that shit.
I have thoroughly enjoyed talking about the Sea Devils with you.
Me too.
What's next? First, we're going to do a New Who review. It's going to be The Beast Below. We're recording that next week on Wednesday. So send us your mini reviews before then. Or, back through time if you want, because that's how podcasts work. After that, we have another classic Who review. Do you know which one that is?
The Mutants.
Well, you're right. Yes, you are. I just double-checked.
Trust is strong, isn't it?
I'm sorry, man. This brandy. Seriously, this brandy, it packs a punch. Please send us your listener minis for those. People can follow you online, can they not?
At Nicolady.
That's right. You can follow me as well. High-five me online. I will high-five you right back. I'm at Ponkin. You know how to spell that. Catch you in the next one. Be rad and excellent to each other. Rock on. And ciao.
Well, I don't know, Bert.
Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When. All in one word. Are you on Google+? Then find us on Google+. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google+. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account, no lie, so give us a follow. You guessed it, that's at Who Back When, all in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse of visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make more sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next classic Who review, New Who review, or, still funny, Audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?